Hi, I'm Pierce Brosnan. I'd like to talk about some of the roles that I've played in my life. Iconic characters. James Bond.
Thank you, mister.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
For me, it was trying to walk a line between Roger and Sean Connery and not being shy of taking from their work. I was so enamored by Sean Connery, who I'd seen as a boy of 11 years of age in Goldfinger, and I watched him transcend to the heady heights of being Bond and creating such an iconic character.
Oh, no, you don't. This is no time to be rescued.
Then came Roger, and I watched Roger portray the character. So I took from both men, really. I allowed myself the grace to be able to try and get the sense of humor that both men brought to the part.
So you destroy every vehicle you get into?
Standard operating procedure.
Oh, you get chipped, you get nicked, you pull muscles, you get stitched up. So, I mean, I have the greatest admiration for Daniel Craig and what he did. The physicality that he brought to the performance was monumental. You kind of have your own private work that you deal with as an actor in trying to portray this man. It's pretty overwhelming. And then providing your own truthfulness. Can you make a truthful moment out of this scene? Mrs. Doubtfire. I remember getting the job. I remember being absolutely over the moon by getting the job because I had to pay the mortgage that month, if I remember. I was a single father, and I get a job with Robin Williams.
This must be the famous Mrs. Doubtfire. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yes, well, Miranda's been raving about you.
Odd. She's never mentioned you.
No?
No.
It's one of the great clowns, greatest comedian, actor, humanitarian. He led with his heart and his soul and every fiber of his being. I was so thrilled to be working with him, Sally Field. I remember going up to San Francisco the first day. I went into the makeup trailer and Robin was there, and he had a Hawaiian shirt on and big hairy arms and cargo pants and hairy legs, but he had the head of Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, hello, Pierce. Oh, you're very handsome. Oh, give us a kiss. Oh, hey there, buddy. Nice to see you. Glad you came up. Hello, Robin. How are you, man? Oh, I'm good, man. I've been here for hours.
It's a pretty impressive bauble you got her.
Oh, thank you.
A fellow gives a gift like that, he wants more than a piece of her heart, eh? Bit of a going down payment, huh?
Excuse me?
Oh, you know, dear. Sink the sub. Hide the weasel, park the porpoise. Bit of the old Humpty Dumpty.
I would go to work, and I went to work every day on that movie, and I was always working with, Mrs. Doubtfire. It wasn't until the end of the movie that I met Robin. Chris Columbus, as a director, he created such a warm environment for us all to be free in and create in. And Robin, of course, had full realm of creativity and spontaneity and humanity and passion for all of us as actors. His commitment to that role was phenomenal because he would go to work and be there from 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, isn't he a stunning piece of work? Look, Neddy. That's called liposuction. I hope you had protection. You hit the water at that speed, God knows what happened.
There's a sunny morning, and my character, Stu, has to walk out on the diving board and do a swallow dive. I don't dive. I don't do swallow dives. I don't like heights. Top board, 300 extras. Action, I'd walk out to the end of the board and I'd go like this, and they'd say, cut, and then I had to tiptoe back. Such humiliation. But it gave everyone a laugh. So that was that morning, and then the next scene was drive-by fruiting.
Oh, sir, I saw it. Some angry member of the kitchen staff. Did you not tip them? Oh, the terrorists, they ran that way. It was a run by fruiting. I'll get them, sir. Don't worry.
Drive-by fruiting, it wasn't in the script. I get the beers, I'm walking back, I'm thinking this is going to take forever to hit me on the head. First one missed, Second one is history. Dante's Peak.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
My mum calls me up and says, Dante's Peak is on again. She lets me know back from London all the movies that they play. For me as a boy growing up in England, Sunday lunch, then you watch a movie. So for her to be telling me that I'm on TV, just as a certain sense of accomplishment, and that's what you live for. The appreciation of the work, and that you bring joy to people's lives, and you turn them on. Dante's Peak, Roger Donaldson, good friend, great director, offered me the role. I just love the title. Sometimes the title will speak to you in an instant. It had the potential to be a crowd pleaser, family film. There was no deep characterization of the man. I knew that I had a following and I had an audience now as James Bond, and I try to keep it as simple as possible within the context of the script and the emotion of the script and the relationships of the characters. You know, I looked at film, I looked at lots of footage of these men who go into these powerfully dangerous situations with Mother Earth, and I just had a great time doing it. Fishing. I'd go fishing. We were in Coeur d'Alene. You know, some of these shots would take a long time to set up. So I'd get to work at 6, 7 in the morning, and sometimes I wouldn't see the camera till about 10, 11 or 12. But we'd be in beautiful circumstances with a river, so I'd go fly fishing. I mean, that's where my singing career started. Because I sing Row, Row, Row the Boat.
Merrily, 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 life is down the stream. Merrily, 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 your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is down the stream.
Then came Mamma Mia. Not much progression there. Mamma Mia.
We're here for the wedding. I'm Bill Anderson.
I'm Bright, Harry Bright.
Sam Carmichael. You are expecting us.
Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia is the gift that keeps giving. It's just one of those joyful memories of life. My father had just passed away, my stepfather, and he was a Scotsman, Carmichael, Bill Carmichael. And I said, Dad has to have the piper. We have to get the bagpipes. And as we're having this conversation and having a little whiskey, it's just the undertaker, my mother and I. The phone rings and it's CAA, my agents. They said, you got a job. I said, really? Oh, Meryl Streep. I went, you're kidding. And they said, look, you're going to be in London. We'd like you to go see the production. We were watching the production and my daughter, she said, Daddy, who are you playing? I said, I don't know. I forgot to ask. I'm one of the dads. The gay dad came on. I could play him. The butch dad came on. I could play him. And then Sam Carmichael came on, the handsome dad, and I could play him too. And then in the scene, he says, you've still got my bagpipes. And his name was Carmichael. So there you go. Whatever that story means, there was some beauty to it.
When you're gone, how can I even try to go on?
It was terrifying having to do these songs, and SOS is such a warhorse of a song. I think what gave me the greatest comfort on the day of recording the songs up at Air Studios was to see Stellan and Colin looking like, rabbits caught in the headlights. They were terrified. We were all terrified having to sing. We go into the studio. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's Air Studios, and there's Benny and Bjorn sitting at the piano. All right, boys, let's go. Straight into the songs. Once we got that out of the way, the rest was just becoming a company. Phillida Lloyd, who directed Mamma Mia, comes from the theater, comes from opera. So she created a company. We went down to Pinewood Studios for about 4 or 5 weeks, and we rehearsed. And in doing so, you're in a big studio space, and you have to get out and dance and remember the moves, and you make an ass of yourself. And there was Meryl with us all doing it and trying to remember the dialogue or the steps. So that gave us a great confidence. So when it became time to film it, everyone was very secure. Evelyn. Well, the movie Evelyn I made with my producing partner, my late producing partner, Beau Marie St. Clair, and we created a company called Irish Dreamtime. And in the space of 10 years, we made 10 movies. Evelyn is one of those films. Paul Pender wrote the script based on the true events of Desmond Doyle. The wife leaves him one Christmas morning, and he's left with children. And as was the wont in those days, the church and the state had full manipulation and control over the dominion of society. And they took the children away from him because he was a single parent. He fought to get his children back.
The SPCC. The Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children.
Aye, that's correct.
Is that bitch putting it about that I've been cruel to my kids?
No, not at all, Mr. Doyle. No. We only have the children's welfare at heart. To lose a mother at such a young age can have a deeply traumatizing effect.
How is that any business of yours?
So much of the work as an actor and the preparation of the work as an actor is so interior. It's you sitting in your living room, in your bathroom, walking the streets, living, and if the story connects to your heart and the writing sustains your imagination, that interior mechanism of imagination and trying to create the look can sometimes have some alchemy to it. For me, it was the singing these pub songs. I didn't have to be a great singer, but he is a singer with passion.
On the banks of the roses, me love when I sat down, and I took out my fiddle for to play me love a tune in the middle of...
It was just a joyful film to make, to be back in Ireland, to be in Dublin, to be in the cast that we had, Alan Bates, Stephen Ray, Aidan Quinn, Juliana Margulies. The whole dynamic of the story was quite powerful for its time, that this man should win against the church and the state to bring back his children from the claws and the maw of church and state. That dynamic was there in its own kind of reality, and it's a film that I cherish. It's a film that I have a deep kind of fondness for, and it has a beauty to it. It is one that kind of will live on the shelf as a story for one hopes, many generations. Thomas Crown.
So what do you think, Crown? You don't have any regrets about the way you played this, do you?
Regret is usually a waste of time. As is gloating. You figured out what you're going to say to your board when they learned that you paid me $30 million more than others were offering? Good morning, gentlemen.
I loved Steve McQueen. I love his work as an actor. You know, you steal from the best. You observe how they do it, how to be relaxed on camera, how to be present on camera. And, you know, he was such a rough and rugged character. But the Crown Affair, he was in Suits for the first time, really, and he was playing this elegant role, and he did it brilliantly. And what really turned me on was The Windmills of Your Mind, the song, and I loved the romance of it. So the movies that I made with Irish Dreamtime and Beau Marie St. Clair are definitely, each and every one, a haiku of friendship and the beauty and the joy of being able to make movies and to get away with it. And each one is dear. They don't have to be box office success or just the accomplishment of making a movie. We went to the studio and they said, yes, run with it. I like to paint. I didn't want to steal money. I didn't want to steal diamonds. I wanted to steal a painting, and I wanted to hit the Met. I mean, once we set sail with this and we had a great script, then it was the director, John McTiernan. John and I had made his first film out of the AFI, a film called Nomads. Leslie Ann Down and myself, which is a little thriller. John went off to be a mega director, and I carried on being an actor. John McTiernan sent us down to a dance studio in Times Square. We went down, I don't know, twice a week. We learned every different dance you could possibly learn and really learned them. And then the day we came to shoot that scene, she was really nervous. I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, here we go. She said, let's just go through the moves. Let's go through the moves. And we found ourselves in some cupboard or some cubbyhole going, dum, 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 dum. And she said, have you seen the dress I have to wear? She said, it fits into this matchbook. I said, don't worry, you're going to be great. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. And then we went for the take, and we went out there, and she was in this dress, this kind of gossamer, featherweight, beautiful dress, and like 300 extras, cameras coming in. And John said, just make it up. Okay. The lights came on, and that's what you see in the movie we just played. Mr. Roman Polanski said, no, it's not about Tony Blair, but all roads led to Tony Blair. So I watched Tony Blair. I looked at his interviews and his performances as the Prime Minister, and it was so well written. The book had a great muscularity to it of storytelling. Roman Polanski, one of the great directors of cinema.
Mike would never have believed such crap. He was too clever, too loyal.
Mike betrayed you to Reichardt.
How do you know that?
He told me.
Reichardt? He's lying.
His phone number on the back of the photograph. It's Reichardt's. The handwriting, that's Makara's.
Mike. I based it on Tony Blair. He was an actor. He was a great actor, a great performer. He had great speech writers. My particular character in the movie, that is. But he was fractured, weak, insecure, fraud, really had done not very good things by his standards and practice of being a prime minister. Black Adam, it's a massive character. It's never been portrayed on film before. It's 40 years old, in the making. Jama, the director, allowed us to have those quiet moments. Aldous Hodge, who plays Hawkman, and I are friends through many incarnations of life. So it's about friendship, it's about love and respect for another man in a situation, and you have the power. Dr. Fate has the helmet of Nabu, which is a curse and a blessing, because he is shackled to the power of the helmet. It's an addiction, it's a curse. It all sounds a lot of frou-frou when you talk about it like that, but it's stuff that you have to lend your heart to. If you go into the mythology of it, whether it be Dr. Fate or James Bond, I'm not very good at articulating the inner dialogue that one has. Otherwise, people think you're crazy. But if it's really well written, you follow the score. You bring your own life to it. You bring your own heart, your own feelings, your own emotions. Yeah, just big characters, big heroic characters. But, if you have the courage to keep it as simple as you possibly can and listen and play it for all it's worth, and you have a good director who can guide you, then you can come up with something that's really meaningful and powerful.